What's up guys, Everything Apple Pro here, and I've been looking forward to making this video comparing Apple's brand new iPhone X to the biggest and best offering from Samsung, the Galaxy Note 8. So we're going to be comparing things like raw speed, day-to-day usage, and even biometrics, Apple's new Face ID versus the iris scanning on the Galaxy Note 8. Now I've done this test a little while ago with the iPhone 7 Plus and the results were impressive. The Galaxy Note 8 is a very good contender, but the new arrival and the star of the show is the iPhone X. After so many leaks, rumors, and just hype, it is finally here, and it is an incredible device. It is everything I wanted it to be. Beautiful display, amazing gesture control that of course takes some getting used to, but otherwise I've been in awe of this phone, just picking it up and holding it. It is amazing. Just 10 years, the culmination of 10 years of work at Apple. So let's go ahead and compare the best from Apple and Samsung. Now specs wise, these are pretty far apart, 3 versus 6 gigabytes of RAM and a 6-core versus 8-core processor. They're both 10 nanometer though, so that's pretty even there. So as usual, I will be starting with a real world test where I'll be launching apps in succession of each other to simulate a day with your device. So stuff like Snapchat, Instagram, social media, shopping, games, stuff like that. So enough to bog the phone down, but not to completely cripple it. Anyways, starting with Snapchat, we're just going to run quick Snapchat. Of course, everyone does that on a day-to-day basis, going in Instagram, checking some posts, taking a picture with your camera, which for some reason hesitated on the Note 8, and then jumping into Maps to get some quick directions, and then into Photoshop Express to edit an 8K image, which does take a little bit longer than an average picture you're going to take with your device. So jumping into Minecraft has a slower animation when loading up on the Note 8, and both of these, as you can see, are unoptimized for the displays. They're cropped. The Minecraft on the Note 8 kind of glitched for some reason. And then moving on to Mario Run, which is also unoptimized for that massive Galaxy Note 8 display. Now both of these devices do have on-screen virtual home buttons, so that kind of complicates this test as I have to keep sliding them up in order to make them available. I wish there was a setting just to keep it on there permanently, but iPhone's already on Netflix, getting into the online apps before jumping into Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, the heaviest application I'll be running on here. So the Galaxy Note 8 at this point in time is keeping up. It's at pace with the iPhone X. The animations are quick. It loads the heavier apps pretty quick, but the iPhone X starts pulling off while it's loading Grand Theft Auto. For whatever reason, it really hesitated on this one, and the iPhone X is already on Amazon as it finishes up Grand Theft Auto on the Note 8. Galaxy Note 8 just now gets into the poker app while the iPhone X is already on SoundCloud and it's just powering through these. And these are, of course, connected to the same Wi-Fi network, so one doesn't get the advantage of LTE over the other or anything like that. Now the iPhone X is already on the last test, which is a 4K 1 minute and 30-second video I use standardly for these tests. It is a struggle for both devices. The iPhone X is particularly slow, I think slower than my iPhone 7 Plus even at compiling it, but finally the Galaxy Note 8 does catch up, and I did have to fast forward on this part just a little bit just because of how long it takes for both of these. 4K, most people won't be editing this on their phones, but it gives me a good challenge or show of power on these devices. So the iPhone X finishes with a score of 2 minutes and 47 seconds for round 1, which is honestly not that great, and I've noticed that the iPhone X isn't as fast to respond as my iPhone 8 Plus, mostly because of the new animations. It just feels slow. A lot of the apps aren't fully optimized, but going back into the applications, a lot of the first ones had to be reloaded. Minecraft, Photoshop, those applications just got reset when editing the 4K video. That 3 gigabytes of RAM just wasn't enough for it. But if you really think about it, how often do we edit 4K video, do something so intensive that it resets a lot of the older applications in our place in them? But anyways, it's on Mario Run right now while the Galaxy Note 8 is still compiling that 4K video. It is pretty dang slow with it. It really needs an update to the processor, Snapdragon 845 eventually. Hopefully that'll put it more on an even plane with the iPhone X. So Netflix and all apps after it were remembered. It was Asphalt and before those heavier applications that iOS decided to clear the cache on in order to make room for editing that 4K video, but everything else was remembered. So finished with a pretty great score of 1 minute and 5 seconds for round 2. Now the Galaxy Note 8 remembered everything. I mean, it has double the RAM, 6 gigabytes, so all of those applications were saved in the cache, and it needed to do zero reloading as everything was already there. And that includes the heavier applications too. So I was pretty impressed with that, but even in the first test I ran with the Galaxy Note 8, it did do this successfully. So if you guys are a multitasking powerhouse, you need that multitasking capability. The Note 8 has been the best phone I've ever tested for it. It always remembers what it was doing in the app switcher. So it finishes with a super quick 38-second round 2. All right, so next up I wanted to do a startup speed test. You really never know when you're gonna need that speed. Are you getting chased by the killer and your iPhone is off? So anyways, here we go in 3, 2, 1, and they are off. So definitely not something we use too often, turning our phone off and seeing how fast it'll turn on. But anyways, the Galaxy Note 8 is on Android 7.1.1, not quite Android 8.0, but getting there, and the iPhone is on iOS 11.1, as you can tell with the flashing. Anyways, it is already on and ready to go, while the Galaxy Note 8 is still loading the T-Mobile splash screen, but otherwise, there it is, ready to go as well. I love that they have the same unlock animation. You have to slide up on both, so pretty cool. This one has this where you can slide up and get into all of the apps. When you slide up on this one, it just gets into the app switcher just like that. So pretty cool. These are very, very similar phones in their own ways. It's kind of amazing. I love it. All right, let's go ahead and do some synchronized app launching. So we already did this, but in a real world test, this will give us a finer, more precise idea of which one loads faster. So Snapchat, 1, 2, 3. And that goes to the Galaxy Note 8. Instagram, 1, 2. Galaxy Note 8 once again. So camera, 1, 2. The iPhone just a tad bit faster there. Man, it takes a while to get used to pressing something versus just swiping up to go home. And Maps, 1, 2. And Galaxy. So web-based apps, this one seems to like them a little bit better. Let's try Photoshop. Hangs just a little bit on the Note 8, and then getting back into the project and exporting it on both. So 1, 2. iPhone definitely faster for that one, and this is an 8K image, so it's a little heavier than usual. Minecraft, 1, 2. Dang, that really hangs on that one. And even though it's unoptimized, oh, they're the same. And Mario Run, 1, 2. So still didn't get an update for it. On this one, it's a little bit different, but otherwise pretty much faster on the Galaxy Note 8. And Asphalt, 1, 2. So heavy application, but also web-based. So a little bit of both on this one. This one looks good on both of these phones. Usually they're cropped, but loads on the Galaxy Note 8 faster. So far I'm seeing a pattern here. Everything is loading on the Note 8 faster. That's amazing. That as well. Wow, that is incredible. Poker, 1, 2. Oh, the iPhone, 1, 1 finally. Okay, this is web-based. All right, Spotify, 1, 2. The Galaxy Note 8, what a surprise. Now, honestly, this might be because not all applications have got iPhone 10 updates. They're still probably optimized for other versions. I've noticed that a lot with weird cropping, just in general. It looks funny, so 1, 2. A lot of these apps might be updated in the future to run better on the iPhone 10, but so far, every app but one has loaded faster on the Samsung Galaxy Note 8. 1, 2. So quite incredible. Yeah, it's definitely going to be a faster experience. And I've noticed that using it, it's definitely a little bit slower than my iPhone 8 Plus even. The iPhone 10, see, as you can see, every single app is loading slower. Let's just load a couple sites real quick on both of these and on our native browsers. So 1, 2. This is apple.com. Loads faster on the Galaxy Note 8. Interesting. Let's try Samsung. 1, 2. And what do you know, loads faster on the Galaxy Note 8. So pretty impressive. So let's get into the more technical stuff with some numbers, with benchmarks. I'm going to start with a Geekbench, and here are those results. Over double the single core score. Multi-core score is beastly, over 10,000 on this guy. Just super impressed with this all around. So next up, let's do a Antutu Benchmark, get an idea of the GPU plus CPU power altogether. And a little over halfway through, I wanted to see how hot these guys get at their hottest points during benchmarks. So I'd say about 102. And for the Galaxy Note 8, a cool 96 degrees. All right, and here are the results. I think that's the highest Antutu Benchmark score I've ever seen on the iPhone 10 versus 174,000 on the Galaxy Note 8. As for the Wi-Fi speed test, for some reason I'm getting a low result on my iPhone 10, and that's after 2 tries. Galaxy Note 8 takes full advantage of my Wi-Fi speeds. All right, so next up, Biometric Speeds. This one is going to be tricky, but I still really wanted to test this. This would be Face ID 3D facial modeling on the iPhone 10 versus iris scanning on the Galaxy Note 8. Both have their own weaknesses and strong suits, but let's go ahead and compare them, speed-wise anyways. In 3, 2, 1, and definitely Galaxy Note 8 on that one. Let's try that again, 3, 2, 1. Definitely Galaxy Note 8. All right, let's try with a swipe up on the iPhone 10 this time. 3, 2, 1. Oh, so a little bit quicker, still not as fast as the Galaxy Note 8. Oh, this time a little bit faster actually. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so identical with the swipe. 3, 2, 1. Actually even faster with the swipe. 3, 2, 1. And it's kind of hard to compare these, but definitely pretty close, I'd say. Most of the time, the iris scanner is a little bit faster than the 3D facial modeling, or identical. So pretty close. Definitely not as fast or reliable seems to be, but pretty close. One more time, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, so I'd say the iris scanning is a little bit faster on the Note 8, but still pretty good on the iPhone 10. So the conclusion is the Galaxy Note 8 is just as fast, if not faster, as the iPhone 10 in day-to-day tasks. It's only when doing more heavy things like 4K editing that the iPhone 10 pulls ahead, although both did spectacular. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more. Peace.